The woman draws blood from her body, spills it on the floor, then wipes it away with a cloth, creating fake evidence of a murder. The woman then finds an iron rod, smears it with blood, and hides it in the fireplace as a fake weapon, then takes out a large insurance policy in her husband's name for herself. Do you understand what's happening now? The woman is framing her husband for her murder. But why would she do this? The reason is that shortly after marrying Nick, Laura discovered he was extremely lazy. To teach Nick a lesson, Laura researched countless crime details, then set up the fake crime scene and disappeared without a trace. Nick was drinking at a bar when suddenly the neighbor called, telling him to come home immediately. When Nick arrived home, he immediately sensed something was wrong. The entire house was in disarray, and Laura had vanished. Before he could think further, the police arrived at the scene. They carefully examined each room and quickly noticed bloodstains on the cabinet. The police took Nick to the station, collected his fingerprints and DNA. According to Nick's statement, he and Laura met 5 years ago. It was love at first sight. Laura was not only beautiful, but also had a PhD in psychology. After marriage, Laura became a housewife to care for their home. Her life became quite simple. Nick worked as an editor. Later, when his mother fell ill, he moved back to his hometown with Laura. This was their 3rd year living there to preserve evidence. The police temporarily sealed off the crime scene. Nick had to stay at his sister's house. That evening, the police returned to Nick's home and met Laura's pregnant best friend at the door. Hearing about Laura's disappearance, she was extremely worried and wanted to get information from the police. The police refused to disclose case details and asked Laura's friend to leave. The police learned from a subordinate that all the assets in Nick's home were in Laura's name. Even the bar owned by Nick's sister legally belonged to Laura. Later, the detective found in the room clues deliberately left by Laura. Due to copyright restrictions, we can only show you this much of the film. The movie is called Gone Girl.